Hello, this is your psychological mentor, Park Seni. It's the end of the year, and 2019 is almost over. I wonder if you've achieved many of the goals and things you set out to do. I hope you can wrap up this year thoroughly, so that next year will be even better. Now, in relation to that, let me share a story that might help you. This is a story I read in a book when I was very young, and I think it will be helpful to you. There were two monks walking along a path. Then they came upon a river, and since it had rained recently, the water level was quite high. In front of them, there was a woman who wanted to cross the river but couldn't, because it was the Joseon dynasty and her skirt was very long. So she was worried it would get wet. She was in a hurry but could only pace anxiously. Oh, whoa. Not knowing what to do. Seeing this, one of the two monks said, "Miss, why don't you let me carry you on my back?" That's what happens. I'll hand it over to you. Then the monk right next to him asked, "How can a Buddhist monk carry a woman?" A woman. But in any case, the monk carried her across the river safely. After setting the woman down, as they continued walking, the monk kept saying, "How could you, as a Buddhist, do something so improper as to carry a woman on your back? Isn't that going too far?" He didn't just say it once. He kept repeating it as they walked along the road, over and over again. Finally, unable to listen any longer, the other monk turned serious and said something. "Venerable, I already set the woman down back there, but you're still carrying her with you. Isn't that right?" I think what this monk said is exactly right. The monk had already helped the woman and left her behind, but the other one kept nagging about it. In a way, that monk was still carrying the woman on his back the whole time. Maybe deep down, he was thinking, I should have carried her myself. I wonder how it would have felt if I had carried her. It seems like he was having these kinds of regretful thoughts. Anyway, there are those who only focus on what they want, and those who can see the essential part of things. But this second monk doesn't understand the essence. He doesn't know whether the true nature of that action was to help, or if it was because he wanted to be with that woman. He just doesn't understand the essence. And since he can't focus on what he truly wants, he keeps getting distracted by things he doesn't want and ends up living in that kind of mental state all the time. It seems like there are quite a few people like this. First of all, I'm really grateful that you all leave such positive comments on my videos, and I feel a great sense of fulfillment from uploading videos on YouTube, occasionally, really just once in a while. There are people who tell me what I should or shouldn't do with my videos, but that's their freedom, so I'm not criticizing them for it. It's better than indifference. But what I mean is, there are sometimes people who focus on really trivial, nitpicky things that aren't essential and keep suggesting that I change or fix this and that. But honestly, if I were to reply to each and every one of them, I'm a very busy person, so I can't respond to all of them individually, especially when it's not something positive, but just nitpicking. I'm not the type of person who even wants to leave a comment in response. Anyway, so sometimes I do leave a few comments, but if comments keep coming up that aren't about the main point, I just end up deleting them. What concerns me is how much those people are only focusing on what they want to see. That's what I find unfortunate. You should be using my videos in a way that, while fully focusing on your own work, you can gain an extra boost of tremendous energy to add to what you're doing. But since some people don't really know what they want, they keep getting caught up in trivial things, like that monk I mentioned earlier, always talking about pointless matters. It seems like they're living that way, and that's why, feeling a bit regretful, I decided to make this video. I hope this has been helpful to you. Always focus only on what you truly want. Today, I received a book by courier. It's called Psychology for New Moms. I actually bought this book with my own money, but the author, Li Jian, personally sent me this copy as a gift. It's been less than an hour since I received it, but the author has already taken all 3 of my beginner, intermediate, and advanced 10-hour courses at my center, and she plans to continue her education. She is a psychological counseling expert who provides incredible education to many mothers. She works in Dijon. I hope you all get a chance to read it. You know, there's a saying like this: "I'm sorry, because this is my first time being a mom. Please understand the things I've done wrong." But to me, these words just sound like a cowardly and regretful excuse. If possible, before having a child, shouldn't we think about how a good mother would act and speak? Wouldn't it be wonderful if, before becoming a mother, you went to the library, read books, and did a lot of research like this? But saying, "Please understand my mistakes, because it's my first time being a mom," is like saying, "It's my first time being born as a human in this life. So please understand that this is all I can do, It's a regretful statement that's really no different from that. So always make sure to prepare well. And as I mentioned earlier, focus on what you want and live your life confidently. Alright, that's it for today. I'll see you next time with an even better video. Please subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. Always stay strong.